Today I wanted to talk about pruning, fall pruning here in the desert. So in most traditional places that roses are grown, the summer is usually when roses look their best, but that's not really the case here in Phoenix or in warmer, arid regions. They tend to look the worst in summer. So for fall, what I like to do is prune the summer off of my roses. So basically, once it gets very hot in the summer, the roses do start looking a little fried, I guess. They can get a little brown or crispy. It depends on the rose. Some of the roses are more heat tolerant, but especially this one right here, this gets a lot of afternoon sun. So it does get, the foliage got a lot smaller, and some of the leaves got a little brown on the edges when it got very hot. So now that it's cooling down, and by cooling down, it's still getting into the hundreds, but it's much cooler than it was. So now the roses are going to perform much better, and in fact they'll perform basically the rest of the year. So I want to get my roses ready for blooming here in the fall. So this is a perfect time to do it. It's just starting to cool down, and you can tell because the roses are starting to put on a little bit more healthier looking foliage, more blooms, but it hasn't cooled down enough yet where they're putting on their nicest show of blooms or their nicest foliage. So this is the time that I like to do my fall pruning, and basically it's just going to consist of getting some of the old summer junk off and pruning it down to a place on the rose where it's going to be a good sturdy part of the rose to have new foliage grow out of. And I will show you on this Floribunda here behind me, and I'll probably do a couple other videos on my teas and some of my mini and ground cover roses, so you can see how I prune those, because they're similar but they'll look a little different. So but this guy right here is my distance drums. I had a video just pruning it back before the summer hit. I showed a video pruning this, so it'll be a little bit different just because I want to show you how I get the summer kind of pruned off of it and how I get it ready for fall. And then in winter, mid-January, we'll do our hard cut back. So this is not a hard cut back, this is just a pruning to get it ready to bloom here in the fall. Also, if you'd like to stay updated on when I'm doing things to my roses, like pruning, like fall pruning, or watering schedule, or maybe fertilizing schedule, I did just start an Instagram. So Queen of Rose Thorns is now on Instagram. So if you'd like to follow me there, I will be giving updates there on that platform as well. And I will continue to do like the how-tos and show you exactly what I'm doing here on YouTube. So if it's helpful for you, please do subscribe. Thank you. So here you can see my distance drums, and you can see kind of up close what I was talking about with a lot of the leaves looking kind of crispy. Again, this one got a lot of direct afternoon sun, so it did kind of burn up some of the foliage, and that's okay. But I want it to look nice and pretty for the cooler weather coming up. So I'm going to take a lot of that off. So here's what it looks like before. And you can see here some of the newer stuff is starting to look a lot better. So you can tell that it is starting to cool down. Again, it's not the best foliage and blooms, but they are cooling down. It looks a lot better than having burnt to a crisp like we are back here. Where you cut the cane, a lot of times is where the new foliage. So here, the new foliage, it likes to grow out like of the top, basically. So I don't really want it to keep growing on top of this. I want to cut it back to a nice point somewhere back here on the rose. That way it's got something sturdy for the new branches to grow off of. Here it is before. So here is the after. So I got a lot of that junky looking growth off, or foliage that kind of got burnt up in the sun off. I got everything back to what I think is like a good cane. And I did leave some of the nicer foliage that has come up recently, like this guy. I left him on. It's not going to be the best flowers, but they're not bad, so we'll keep them. And then once we start getting new growth and it's time to deadhead some of these might get cut back a little bit more just to make room for the new growth that comes up. But you can see, maybe this looks scarier to you, but this is a really good skeleton. And again, this one's not even a hard cutback. If this was a hard cutback, I would have taken considerably more off of it. But I think it looks good. Hopefully the temperatures keep cooling down. They should. And it should start to put new growth on. So I can do a follow-up on this guy once it starts putting new growth. So there you have it. Thank you.